Welcome to Dr. Dan's Psychological Facts. Dive into the world of psychological facts, insights, and mental health tips. Subscribe now for fresh episodes. You are just one click away from unlocking your potential. From Dr. Dan. 10 Ways Your Mind Trick You. Today, we're diving into a topic that can have a powerful impact on our lives, and how our thinking can sometimes trick us. This is called cognitive distortions. Cognitive distortions are biased ways of thinking that can warp our reality. They happen automatically, influencing how we perceive ourselves, others, and the world around us. While everyone experiences these distortions from time to time, relying on them too frequently can lead to anxiety, depression, problems in our relationships, and even serious psychological and psychiatric issues. Let's take a closer look at some common cognitive distortions and how they can impact our lives. First up, we have all or nothing thinking. This is when we see things in black and white. If something isn't perfect, it feels like a complete failure. For example, you might think, if I don't ace this exam, I'm a total failure. This way of thinking can make even minor setbacks feel overwhelming. Next is overgeneralization. Here, one negative experience can lead you to assume it applies to everything. For instance, after failing a job interview, you might think, I'll never get hired anywhere. This creates unnecessary negativity about future situations. The third distortion is mental filtering. This involves focusing solely on the negatives while ignoring the positives. You might think, my manager praised my work, but they pointed out one error, so I must be terrible at my job. This prevents you from seeing the full picture. Catastrophizing is expecting the worst-case scenario, regardless of how unlikely it is. For example, you might think, if I make one mistake, my whole career will fall apart. This kind of thinking leads to excessive worry. With personalization, we often believe that everything others do or say is a direct reaction to us. For instance, if a friend doesn't reply to your message, you might think, they must be mad at me. This can cause unnecessary hurt feelings. Should statements involve rigid expectations for ourselves or others? For example, I should have my children's lives perfectly organized. I should never make mistakes at work, etc. Next is jumping into conclusions. This includes jumping to conclusions or making assumptions without evidence. An example is, she didn't say hi to me, she must dislike me. If a person notices a friend's brief response to a text and assumes, they're upset with me, without considering that the friend might be busy or tired, these thoughts can lead to misunderstandings and anxiety. Labeling involves assigning fixed negative labels to oneself or others. You might think, I'm such a loser. Labels simplify complex behaviors and can reinforce negativity. Ninth one is magnification and minimization. This distortion is about blowing things out of proportion or minimizing their importance. For instance, thinking, I made a typo in my report, now everyone will think I'm incompetent. I stumbled during my presentation, it was a total disaster, and my career is over, are examples of magnification. I completed a project in record time, but it wasn't that difficult, anyone could have done it. I received praise for my work, but it was just a nice gesture, it doesn't really mean anything, are examples for minimization. Finally, emotional reasoning is believing that your gut feelings reflect reality. This leads to anxiety that leads to cloud logical thinking, such as, if I'm mad, it means someone did something hurtful. I feel anxious, so this must be dangerous or bad, so I must avoid it. To conclude for the time being, recognizing these cognitive distortions is a crucial step toward improving our mental well-being. Identifying and challenging these distorted thoughts can pave the way for a healthier mindset. Part 2. Coming soon. How to challenge cognitive distortions. Thanks for watching Dr. Dan's Psychological Facts. Subscribe to unlock the mysterious world of psychology with Dr. Dan.